After 20 years, I can say with confidence, no one is quite as good as I.
Susie,
Oh, hi.
ready when you are.
Okay, go ahead. Miss Barrett, this is Dr. Jason Posner. He's going to do your history, ask you a bunch of questions. He's Dr. Kelekian's fellow.
Hi, Professor Barry. I'm Dr. Posner, clinical fellow in the medical oncology branch, working with Dr. Kelekian. Professor Barry, I was an undergraduate at the U. I took your course in 17th century poetry.
You did?
Yes, I thought it was excellent.
Well, thank you. Were you an English major?
No, biochemistry. But you can't get into medical school unless you're well-rounded. And I made a bet with myself that I could get an A on the 3 hardest courses on campus.
How'd you do, Jace?
Success?
Really?
A-. It was a very tough course. I'll call you.
Okay.
Let's bring this over.
Proceed next right. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. Now, I'm going to be taking your history. It's a medical interview, and then I give you an exam.
I believe Dr. Kelekian has already done that.
Well, I know, but Dr. Kelekian wants me to do it too. Now I'm going to be taking a few notes as we go along.
Very well.
Okay, let's get started. How are you feeling today?
Fine, thank you.
Good. How's your general health?
Fine.
Excellent, okay. We know you're an academic,
Yes, we've established that.
so we don't need to talk about your interesting work.
No.
How old are you?
50.
Are you married?
No.
Are your parents living?
No.
How and when did they die?
My father, suddenly, when I was 20 of a heart attack. My mother, slowly, when I was 41 and 42, cancer, breast cancer.
Cancer?
Breast cancer.
I see. Any siblings?
No,
Do you have any questions so far?
not so far.
Well, that about does it for your life history.
Yes, that's about all there is to my life history.
Now I'm going to ask you about your past medical history. Have you ever been hospitalized before?
I had my tonsils out when I was 8.
Have you ever been pregnant?
No.
Ever had heart murmurs, high blood pressure,
No.
stomach, liver, kidney problems,
No.
venereal diseases, uterine infections,
No.
thyroid, diabetes,
No.
cancer?
Well, cancer, yes.
When?
Now.
Well, not including now.
Well, in that case, no.
Okay. Clinical depression, nervous breakdown, suicide attempts?
No.
Do you smoke?
No.
Ethanol?
I'm sorry?
Alcohol?
Oh, ethanol. Yes, I drink wine.
How much and how often?
A glass with dinner occasionally. Maybe a scotch every now and then.
Do you use substances?
Such as?
Marijuana, cocaine, crack cocaine, PCP, ecstasy, poppers?
No.
Do you drink caffeinated beverages?
Oh, yes.
Which ones?
Coffee, a few cups a day.
How many?
2 to 6. But I don't think that's immoderate.
How often do you undergo routine medical checkups?
Well, not as often as I should have, probably, but I have felt fine. I really have.
So the answer is,
Every 3 to 5 years.
what do you do for exercise?
Pace.
Are you having sexual relations?
Not at the moment.
Are you pre or postmenopausal?
Pre,
When was the first day of your last period?
I don't know, 10 days, 2 weeks ago.
Okay, and when did you first notice your present complaint?
This time now.
Yes.
Well, about 4 months ago, I had a pain in my stomach, in my abdomen. It was like a cramp, but not the same.
How did it feel?
Like a cramp.
But not the same?
No, duller, but stronger. I can't describe it.
What came next?
Well, I don't know. I began to notice my body more, little things. I was teaching, and I'd have a sharp pain.
What kind of pain?
Sharp and sudden, and then it would go away. Or I was tired, exhausted. I was working on a major project, an article on John Donne for the Oxford Encyclopedia of English Literature. It was a great honor, but I had a very strict deadline.
So you would say you were under stress?
Well, it wasn't so much more stress than usual. I just couldn't withstand it this time. I don't know.
So?
So, I went to Dr. Chin, my gynecologist, after I had turned in the article and explained all this. She examined me and sent me to Jefferson the internist, who then sent me to Kelekian because he thought I might have a tumor.
And that's it?
Until now, yes.
Huh. Well, that's very interesting. Okay, I guess we'll start the examination. It'll only take a few minutes. Why don't we get you to lie back and, relax. Be very relaxed. This won't hurt at all. Just make these. Okay, just, the sheet, right. Okay. Just stay calm. All right. Okay, let's get your legs up. There we go. Okay, now we can, I have to go get Susie. Gotta have a girl here, some crazy clinical rule. I'll be right back. Don't move.
Wish I'd given him an A. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. Death, be not proud. Some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. For those that thou think'st thou dost overthrow, die not, poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me.
Has anybody seen Susie?
Thou art slave to fate, chance, kings, and desperate men, and dost with poison, war, and sickness dwell. And poppy or charms can make us sleep as well. And better than thy stroke, why swell'st thou then?
She was here just a minute ago.
One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Comma. Death thou shalt die.
Okay, here's everything. Okay.
What is this? Why did you leave her like this?
I had to find you. Now come on. We're ready, Professor Baring. Smooth this over. Okay, just stay calm. Okay, just relax. Okay. All right. Okay. Susie, isn't that interesting that I had Professor Baring?
Yeah. I wish I'd taken some literature. I don't know anything about poetry.
Professor Baring was very highly regarded on campus. It looked very good on my transcript that I had taken her course. They even asked me about it in my interview for med school. Jesus.
What? What?
Yeah, I survived Baring's course, no problem, yeah. John Donne, those metaphysical poets, that metaphysical wit, hardest poetry in the English department. Would love to see them try biochemistry. Okay, we're about done. Okay, that's it. Okay, Professor Baring, just let me get these off. All right. Let's get your legs down. Okay, I gotta go.
It is Friday morning, grand rounds. Action!
Dr. Baring,
Dr. Kelekian.
Jason, Professor Baring, how are you feeling today?
Fine.
That's great. Just great. Very late.
Grand rounds.
Stages of
The term is theirs. Not grand in the traditional sense of sweeping or magnificent. Not rounds as in a musical canon or even a round of applause, although either would be refreshing at this point. No, here round seems to signify darting around the main issue, which I suppose would be the struggle for life. My life, with heated arguments about side effects, other complaints, additional treatments. Grand rounds is not grand opera, but compared to lying here, it's positively dramatic, full of subservience, hierarchy, gratuitous displays, sublimated rivalries, I feel right at home. It is just like a graduate seminar, with one important difference. In grand rounds, they read me like a book. Once I did the teaching, now I am taught. This is much easier. I just hold still and look cancerous. It requires less acting all the time. Excellent command of details.
Excellent command of details.
I taught him, you know.
Okay, problem areas with Hex and Vid.
Well, first, of course, is myelosuppression, a lowering of blood cell counts. It goes without saying. With this combination of agents, nephrotoxicity will be next.
Go on.
The kidneys are designed to filter out impurities in the bloodstream. In trying to filter the chemotherapeutic agent out of the bloodstream, the kidneys shut down.
Intervention.
Hydration,
Monitoring.
full recording of fluid intake and output, as you see here on these graphs, to monitor hydration and kidney function. Total is monitored daily by the clinical fellow, as per the protocol.
Anybody else? Side effects?
Nausea and vomiting.
Jason.
Routine.
Pain while urinating.
Routine.
Psychological depression?
No way.
Anything else? Other complaints with Hex and Vid? Come on.
Mouth sores?
Not yet.
Skin rash?
Nope.
Why do we waste our time, Dr. Bering?
I do not know, Dr. Kelekian.
Use your eyes. Jesus, God, hair loss.
You can see it. It doesn't count.
Jason,
Hair loss after first cycle of treatment.
that's better. Dr. Bering, full dose. Excellent. Keep pushing those fluids. Jason,
Huh?
clinical.
Oh, right, jeez. Thank you, Professor Bering. You've been very cooperative.
Wasn't that grand?
Don't you worry, it'll be all right.
How are you feeling, Professor Bering?
My teeth are chattering.
Vitals?
Temp 1029, pulse 120, respiration 36, chills and sweating.
Fever and neutropenia. It's a shake and bake. Blood culture and urine stat. Admitter, prepare for reverse isolation. Start with acetaminophen. Vitals every 4 hours.
Jason, I think you need to talk to Kelekian about lowering the dose for the next cycle. It's too much for her like this.
Lower the dose? No way. Full dose. She's tough. She can take it. Wake me up when the counts come from the lab.
Good morning, Dr. Bering. 5th cycle, full dose, definite progress. Everything okay?
Yes.
You're doing swell. Isolation is no problem. Couple of days. Think of it as a vacation.
Oh,
Jason.
Jesus. Okay, okay.
in isolation, I am isolated. For once, I can use a term literally. Chemotherapeutic agents eradicating my cancer have also eradicated my immune system. In my present condition, every living thing is a health hazard to me,
I really have not got time for this.
particularly healthcare professionals.
Just look at the I know sheets for 1 minute, and it takes me half an hour to do precautions. Four, 7, 11, 250 twice. Okay. Oh, geez, clinical. How are you feeling, Professor Bering?
Fine, just shaking a little because of the chills.
IV will kick in any time now. No problem. Listen, gotta go. Keep pushing the fluids.
I am not in isolation because I have cancer. It is such a relief to get back to my goddamn room after those goddamn tests.
Professor Bering, just want to check the eye now. 450. 450, 6, 5, okay. How are you feeling today?
Fine.
That's great, just great.
How are my fluids?
Pretty good. No kidney involvement yet. That's pretty amazing with Hex and Vin.
How will you know when the kidneys are involved?
Lots of in, not much out.
That's simple.
Oh, no way. Compromised kidney function is a highly complex reaction. I'm simplifying for you.
Thank you.
We're supposed to.
Bedside manner.
Yeah, there's a whole course on it in med school. It's required. Colossal waste of time for researchers.
I can imagine. Jason,
Huh?
what were you just saying?
What?
Never mind.
Professor Barron?
Yes?
Are you experiencing confusion? Short-term memory loss?
No.
Sure.
Yes. I was just wondering, why cancer?
Why cancer?
Well, why not open heart surgery?
All right. Why not plumbing? Why not run a Ruark for all the surgeons know about Homo sapiens sapiens? No way. Cancer's the only thing I ever wanted.
Huh.
No, really. Cancer is...
Awesome.
Yeah, that's right. It is. It is awesome. How does it do it? The intercellular regulatory mechanisms, especially for proliferation and differentiation. The malignant neoplasia just don't get it. You grow normal cells in tissue culture in the lab, and they replicate just enough to make a nice confluent monolayer. They divide 20 times or 50 times, but eventually they conk out. You grow cancer cells, and they never stop. No contact inhibition whatsoever. They just keep piling up, just keep replicating forever. It's got a funny name. Know what it is?
No. What?
Immortality in culture.
Sounds like a symposium.
It's an error judgment in a molecular way, but why? Even on the protistic level, the normal cell-cell interactions are so subtle they'll take your breath away. The golden brown algae, for instance, the lowest multicellular life form on Earth. They're idiots. And it's incredible. It's perfect. So what's up with the cancer cells? You've got the smartest guys in the world with the best labs, funding. They don't know what to make of it.
Well, what about you?
Me? Oh, I've got a couple ideas, things I'm kicking around. Wait till I get a lab of my own, if I can survive this fellowship.
The part with the human beings.
Everybody's got to go through it. All the great researchers. They want us to be able to converse intelligently with the clinicians, as though researchers were the impediments. The clinicians are such troglodytes, so smarmy. Like, we have to hold hands to discuss creatinine clearance. Just cut the crap, I say.
Are you going to be sorry? Do you ever miss people?
Everybody asks that, especially girls.
What do you tell them?
I tell them yes.
Are they persuaded?
Some.
Some, I see. What do you say when a patient is apprehensive, frightened?
Of who?
Never mind.
Professor Varian, who's the President of the United States?
I'm fine. It's all right, really.
You sure I could order a test?
No! Fine. Just a little tired.
Okay. Look, I gotta go. Keep pushing the fluids, try for 2,000 a day, okay?
Okay. To use your word. Okay. So,
Oh yeah, Joe's a great scholar. Wrote tons of books, articles, was the head of everything. $250, 75, 520. Let's up the hydration. She won't be drinking anymore. See if we can keep her kidneys from fading. But yeah, I had a lot of respect for her, which is more than I can say for the entire biochemistry department.
What do you want? Dextrose?
Give her saline.
Okay.
She gave a hell of a lecture. No notes, not a word out of place. It was pretty impressive. A lot of students hated her, though.
Why?
Well, she wasn't exactly a cupcake.
Well, she hasn't exactly been a cupcake here either. Now, Miss Vear, Jason and I are here, and we're gonna insert a catheter to collect your urine. It's not gonna hurt, don't you worry.
Like she can hear you.
It's just nice to do.
8 cycles of hexenvin at the full dose. Kelekian didn't think it was possible. I wish they could all get through it at full throttle. Then we could really have some data.
She's not what I imagined. I thought someone who studied poetry would be sort of like dreamy, you know?
Oh, not the way she did it. It felt more like boot camp than English class. This guy, John Donne, was incredibly intense. Like your whole brain had to be in knots before you could get it.
You made it hard on purpose?
Well, it has to do with the subject. The Hoy sonnets we worked on most, they were mostly about salvation anxiety. That's a term I made up in one of my papers, but I think it fits pretty well. Salvation anxiety. You're this brilliant guy. I mean brilliant. This guy makes Shakespeare sound like a Hallmark card. And you know you're a sinner, and there's this promise of salvation, the whole religious thing, but you just can't deal with it.
How come?
It just doesn't stand up to scrutiny. But you can't face life without it either. So you write these screwed up sonnets. Everything is brilliantly convoluted. Really tricky stuff, bouncing off the walls like a game to make the puzzle so complicated.
What happens in the end?
End of what?
To John Donne. Does he ever get it?
Get what?
His salvation anxiety. Does he ever understand?
Oh, no way. The puzzle takes over. You're not even trying to solve it anymore. Fascinating, really. Great training for lab research, too, looking at things in increasing levels of complexity.
Until what?
What do you mean?
Well, where does it end? I mean, don't you ever get to solve the puzzle?
Nah. When it comes right down to it, research is just trying to quantify the complications of the puzzle.
But you help people. You save lives and stuff.
Oh yeah, I save some guy's life, and then the poor slob gets hit by a bus.
Yeah, I guess. I just don't think of it that way. I guess you can tell I never took a class in poetry.
Listen, if there's one thing we learned in 17th century poetry, it's that you can forget about that sentimental stuff. Enzyme kinetics was more poetic than Barron's class. Besides, you can't think about that meaning of life garbage all the time or you'd go nuts.
Well, do you believe in it?
And what?
I don't know, the meaning of life garbage.
What do they teach you in nursing school? She's out of it. Shouldn't be too long now. You done here?
Yeah, I'll just clean up.
Okay. See ya.
Bye, Jace.
Professor Baring, how are you feeling today? 3 p.m., IV hydration totals. 2,000 in, 30 out. Oh, that's it. Kidney's gone. Professor Baring? Highly unresponsive. Wait a second. Wait a second, Jesus Christ, call code! 4, 5, 7, 5. Code blue, room 707. Code blue, room 707. Dr. Posner, POS-NER. Hurry up! Come on.
Code blue.
1, 2,
room
3, 4,
707.
5, 6. Goddamn code, get over here!
She's DNR!
She's research!
She's no code!
God damn it, Susie!
She's no code! Kelekian gave the order, Jason. You saw it. You were right there. Oh my God, the code. 4575.
Get out of the way.
Cancel code.
Get the board.
707.
Over here. You didn't
Stop
stop out.
Primary nurse.
No,
Hey,
stop reading this
hurry
stuff.
up.
She's DNR. I'm the resident doctor. Listen to me.
Got it. Here.
Look at the chart.
Keep it going.
She's
Stop.
DNR.
Patient is
Stop.
DNR.
We're fine.
Stop. Patient is no code. Order was given. Look at this. Pulse. Do not resuscitate.
I made a
Kelekian.
mistake.
Who the hell are you?
Sue Monahan, primary nurse.
Let me see the goddamn chart. Chart! What's going on?
Stop.
What's it say? Do not resuscitate. Kelekian. Shit.
Order was no code.
Yesterday.
Get away from her.
It's a doctor fuck-up. What is he, a resident?
Got us out here on a DNR.
Call the code on a no code.